Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the Patreons. Make sure to subscribe, and with the upcoming patch, there are two aircraft that will receive, well, technically just one that is already in the game, but two aircraft in general that will receive new Mavericks. The new Gripen for Hungary with the Maverick H and the Maverick G. And of course the Harrier as well will get one of these variants. I forgot which one, but anyway. It is kind of interesting actually to wonder about this, because is there other aircraft that can actually take better versions of the Maverick? And of course the answer is yes, because the launcher, everything like that, they basically just upgraded existing ideas of seekers and everything like that with the Mavericks, right? So of course you will see, for example, I think it's the H, right? The H being basically an upgraded AGM65D, right, with a charge coupled device seeker. So a different type of seeker to help it out in the desert environment and other situations as well. So the missile itself is basically the same. What it changes is the seeker here and there, maybe the payload, maybe a little bit of the performance, but in a way they are very, very similar to each other since the AGM-65A. Of course, the capabilities of them increased by a lot, but these missiles, they're like an A9, you know. The principle behind the missile is pretty much the same. It's just that the performance starts to get better, and I think between the A9s comparing to the AGM-65, it's even a lowered performance differentiation, apart from the seeker, which of course it got thermal visions, IR seekers, right? So it's a little bit different on that, but still in the regards of performance, everything like that, penetration, it's around the same idea since the A variant or B variant until the later variants, right? So it's not like it's impossible for aircraft to take better versions. I think Gaijin is only considering two things. First of all, of course, is the performance of the missile according to the BR of it. The clear example of this is the amount of 10.3s, 10.7s aircraft from the US, for example, and even from other countries that have the AGM-65A or B. The F5E, the F4E, the F4F, all of these aircraft, they have a very low BR, and if they receive an AGM-65H, for example, or even the D variant, if they are capable of taking them, it would mean that in the air-to-ground role, these aircraft would be a lot better than what they are right now, causing an imbalance. So that's the main problem with this. So that's why it's very, very difficult to expect, for example, that the F4F will receive a new AGM. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of bug reports on this, and let's be honest, the performance of the AGMs, they're not that different, as I was saying. I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is the thermal seeker. So they gotta take that in mind if they are going to add an air-to-ground missile like this. But for the top-tier vehicles, I think there's literally no reason why they shouldn't upgrade it. So this is the second kind of situation why Gaijin wouldn't add these missiles for the aircraft that they should. The usage in real life, right? For example, the Swedish Gripen, if I'm not mistaken, never used an upgraded RB-75. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but so they're only using the AGM-B, if I'm not mistaken, which is the RB-75. I think that's the B, right? Since the beginning of the usage of this missile until this day. I don't know, like today they might have changed, but for now at least, according to the latest sources, it should be the same RB-75 that we always get, right? Again, I mean, it all comes down to balance as well, and of course, I mean, that needs to be, it's an A, sorry, not a B, but that needs to be something that they consider while adding things, right? I mean, sure, the Gripen can take the AGM-65H, for example, or G, like the Hungarian one, the Swedish one, I mean, right? But they never did. And at the same time, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the South Africans never used an AGM-65. I have to confirm that, but I don't remember them using. And they do have that missile as well, so it's complicated, you know, and it's kind of a weird choice. Again, at the end of the day, in my opinion, they should be adding for more balancing purposes than anything else. So, for example, if the Hungarians add, the Hungarians are getting a better Maverick. I think the new Gripens, the other Gripens should get it as well. I mean, the Su-25 SM-3 is getting a new KH-38 missile, so why not? I mean, an F-16C. I mean, it's already using the D variant of the Maverick, which is already amazing. Why not add the H for it, or even the G as well, or any variant that they want, right? It doesn't change much. So there's a lot of aircraft that could take this. It just doesn't mean that they are going to get it because of these two reasons. But again, it's kind of unpredictable because, as I was saying, I mean, the South Africans, I don't think ever used an AGM-65, and in the game they are using one. So at the end of the day, it kind of doesn't matter. We have other aircraft like this, the Yak-141, that is, I did a video about it today about the Fox 3s and stuff. The F-16AJ, we already have these kind of precedents of not really caring about historical usage. If it's able to be used, it will be used. If it's needed for balancing purposes, that's kind of the model that they are using for it. So in my opinion, yeah, for sure they should be adding more advanced Mavericks for all these aircraft, especially the top tier ones. As I said, F-16s, some of the like higher tiers, Harriers, for example, the AV-8B Plus, they can take one of the variants. I mean, it's not really that different. It's the F, if I'm not mistaken, so it's not that different from the D variants and B variants, but still it would be cool. And yeah, there are many aircraft that could improve its air-to-ground capabilities. Not really changing anything, just making people pleased a little bit, because as I said, these missiles, they don't change a lot on the performance. It just means that people will be happier because they are using a little bit more of a modern version that slightly changes a certain thing in the missile, right? So yeah, anyway, let me know in the comments, what do you think about other aircraft receiving better Mavericks? Should we get it or not? Let me know in the comments, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.